Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For those of you whom I haven't had the opportunity to meet or get to know, my name is Michel Ladom. I'm one of the clergy here at Temple Beth Israel. And this evening we come together for a minyan. A minyan is an opportunity, it's literally a quorum. Ultimately, it's an opportunity to pay tribute to a remarkable life, just under 101 years of life. And so for those of you who knew her, I invite you to take a moment to think of her and think of a memory, think of something which might begin with, I remember when. And hold that thought. This evening's service is a brief evening service followed by a memorial service, all of which is contained in this prayer book. If you don't have one, you're welcome to get one from Venture, who's standing by the door with spare prayer books if you would like to participate. The pages are designed to have Hebrew translation and interpretation, so often there's only a quarter of the two-page spread that's actually read. But I do invite you to participate, whether in Hebrew, in English, or perhaps in the words of your own hearts. On page 63, a poem by Alvin Fine. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, and life is a journey, from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness, and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength, or strength to weakness, and often back again. From health to sickness, and back we pray to health again. From offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion, and grief to understanding. From fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat. Until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, but life is a journey from birth to death, to life everlasting. So I'll invite you to rise as we turn to the beginning of the prayer book on page 4 for the call to prayer. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated if you'll join with me in the Hebrew on page 6. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, Bechokma Poteach Sha'arim, Uvitvuna Meshenei Eitim, Umachalif et Azmanim, Umeseder et HaKochavim B'mishmeroteihem Berakia Kirtzono. בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המריב הרבים, אהבת עולם, בית ישראל. עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו, ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך לתסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. At the top of page 13. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. At the bottom of page 15, if you'll join with me in the English. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say there is one God in heaven and on earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. And then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele malchutecha ראו בניך, וקיים לפני משה ומרים, זה עניינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כפר אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל. If you'll join with me at the bottom of page 19. Give us a place to rest, eternal our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth, prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Over all we love, over our Jerusalem and over yours. Baruch atah Adonai, Shomer Amo Yisrael Ad, blessed are you, eternal one, guardian of Israel. We rise to the Chatzi Kaddish on page 20. Yitgadal v'yitgadash v'meirava Be'alma divra chirute ve'amlich machute V'chayechonu v'yamechonu v'chayre kol beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman kariv V'yimeru Amen Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach La'alam ulan me'al maya Yitbarach יתברך וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מנכ"ל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו Amen. And so we come to the Amidah, the standing prayer, or the tefillah, the core of our service. Historically, this was once upon a time the ritual sacrifice, the animal sacrifice in the temple in Jerusalem. And before that, the animal sacrifice replaced human sacrifice, which was rejected in the binding of Isaac's story. But with the destruction of the temple, there was a transition to the words of our hearts, which ultimately were written down and became the words of our prayer books. And so I invite you to join with me. I'll chant the first three of the benedictions as a community, and then we continue in silence, whether in Hebrew or in English, whether the words of the prayer books or the words of our hearts. Page 22 and onwards. When you've concluded your personal prayer, feel free to be seated and we'll join together at Oseh Shalom. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Abraham ve'Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וגונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות. והוא מידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיי, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים, אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel. Please be seated. On page 61, the memorial service, we are assembled with our friends in the dark shadow that has fallen on their family. We raise our voices together in prayer to the source of life, asking for comfort and for strength. We need light when gloom darkens our lives. To whom shall we look, if not to the Creator of light? We need strength and courage when pain and loss assail us. Where shall we find them, if not in the thought of the one who preserves all that is good from destruction? We are blessed if we have never yet passed through trials and bereavements. Some present here bear fresh wounds in their hearts and therefore feel more keenly the kinship of sorrow. Others whose days of mourning are more remote still recall the comfort that sympathy brought to their sorrowing hearts. Our rational minds know that all things pass. Emotionally, though, it is so hard to accept that all that lives must die. All that we prize is but lent to us, and the time comes when we must surrender it. We are all travellers on the same road, which ultimately leads to the same end. And so, I'll invite you to join with me on page 64 in the words in English of the 23rd Psalm. A psalm of David. With God as my shepherd, I shall not want. You make me lie down in green pastures. You lead me beside still waters. You restore my soul. You set me in circles of righteousness for the sake of your name. Though I will walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. You spread a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of God forever. Adonai, Oseh Shamayim va'aretz, al yiten lamot raglecha, al yanum shomerecha, hine lo yanum velo yishan, הנה לא ינום ולא ישן שומר ישראל אדוני שומרך אדוני צילך על יד ימינך על יד ימינך יומם השמש לא יככה וירח בלילה אדוני ישמורך מכל רע ישמור את נפשך אדוני ישמור את צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם. On page 67, this poem written by the Israeli poet Zelda. Each person has a name. We each have a name given by God and given by our father and our mother. We each have a name given by our stature and smile and given by our attire. We each have a name given by the hills and given by the walls. We each have a name given by the stars and given by our friends. We each have a name given by our sins and given by our yearnings. We each have a name given by our enemies and one given by love. We each have a name given by celebrations and given by our work. We each have a name given by the seasons and given by our blindness. We each have a name given by the sea, and ultimately one given by our death. And so earlier I invited you all to take a moment to think of her and to think of a memory which might begin with, I remember when. Yet who better to speak of her? Who better to remember her? Who better to celebrate her than her family? Kingsley, would you share a few words with us?
Mari, a centenarian. Mari belonged to a very special club that few people are able to join, which is of those who have lived over a century. Mari was a centenarian, and what an achievement and incredible life she lived. To be fair to her life and understand from where she came physically and in personality, we must venture back to the Russian Revolution and to her parents, Rachel and Aaron. Excuse me. After the failed 1905 revolution in Russia and before the successful 1917 revolution, in this setting of social dysfunction, attacks and numerous pogroms, many people, including grandfather Aaron, known to his contemporaries as Ari, and grandmother Rachel Sestenka, as they were then known, decided to leave Russia. They'd heard that things were good in Australia and that there was an established Jewish community in Melbourne. Perhaps they'd heard that one Sidney Meyer and others from his town were beginning to prosper. From Russia to Australia, some family history. Aaron and Rachel arrived in Sydney by ship on 16th May 1910. Rachel was then pregnant with her first child, Clara Reva, later called Claire, who was born on 5th August that year. The birth of their second child, Sonia Bell, later known as Bell, followed in 1914, and Mari Neuer on 9th June 1918, almost 101 years ago. Mari's parents were in the rag trade. Aaron sold clothes, drapery and other mercery by travelling in the country. Later he opened shops and successively in Camberwell, Lilydale, Healesville and Warburton. The Warburton shop still exists, now selling bric-a-brac and souvenirs. The Great Depression of 1929-1939 progressively and greatly affected the education of the Bloom daughters. Claire and Belle attended PLC. Mari also attended PLC, but later moved to St Michael's in St Kilda, just up the road from here. It was necessary for Mari to finish schooling after what was then sub-intermediate at age 14. The Depression deeply affected Mari and really shaped the way she saw the world. Mari and Eric Davis first met at Eric's bar mitzvah party in April 1930. They often played tennis together at the home of Gladys and Morris Sharp in Dickens Street, Hellwood. They were married on 18th March 1941 at the St Kilda Synagogue, a marriage that lasted 67 years. By this time, Rachel, her mother, was significantly unwell, and I refer to the marriage of my parents in 1941. Rachel died on 16th July 1942. I was born a fortnight later in 1942. Then came Elliot in 1945 and Howard was born in 1948. As I mentioned tennis, I should add that Mari also enjoyed and later she and Eric took up lawn bowls, which became their lasting passion. Along with Eric, they successfully competed in many competitions. Mari was also a member of Temple Beth Israel's Women's Guild. Mari was very social and loved to stage parties. She also loved taking overseas trips. Mary and Eric lived progressively at Waiora Road, Caulfield, now owned by her carer, or her former carer, Asia, Balaclava Road, Power Avenue, Toorak, Orong Road, Toorak, Huntingdale Road, Toorak, and Toorak Road. Mary proved to be an astute saleswoman and assisted Eric in his ladies' fashion business in Brunswick and then the city, Ricky's, Milgram's, and then Noble's in Royal Arcade, and later his card shop in Australia Arcade. This was one of the first card shops in Melbourne. Eric promised Mary that he would spend his life making her happy, and certainly he did his best, tending to her every need. It was Mum's view that both she and our father Eric had a very happy life together. He never went on any outings unless they did so together. She loved his gentle nature and he was very much in love with her. Eric left this world at age 91 in 2009. Towards the end of his life, when Mary visited, he would constantly try to hold her hand to show his love. In 2015, Mary moved to Darnley on Lancel Road, Toorak. There she was cared for in a manner and style to which most other homes for people of senior years aspire, but few attain. Howard was very attentive to our mother, spending most days with her. I also showed her as much love and support as possible, having regard to professional commitments. We were both devoted to our mother. Mary and her family. Mary also very much loved her great-grandchildren, Imogen, Noah, and her grandchildren, Sheldon and Carolyn, Jonathan and Mark. When they were little and visited, she always ensured they had games to play and chocolates to eat. Our mother did her best to ensure that we lived by values which she viewed would give us the best in life. This was particularly important to her because of her deprived background and later childhood during the Great Depression, as I previously mentioned. She wanted the best for us and for us to succeed. I will miss Mum's hospitality when I visited her. I will miss family occasions. I will miss her robust advice with which everyone knows I always agree. Howard will miss his daily chats and visiting her, and this will leave a large void in his life. Sikrana Livracha.
Please rise for the memorial prayer on page 68. אל מלא רחמים שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, עם קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים את נשמת Mary David. שלחה לעולמה בעל הרחמים, יסתיריה בסתר גנביו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה. אדוני הוא נחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה, ונאמר Amen. Fully compassionate God on high, to Mary who has entered eternity, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy forever, enfold her in the embrace of your wings, secure her soul in eternity. O God, she is yours. May she rest in peace, and we say, Amen. Page 72, our concluding prayers. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נושא שמיים ועושד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. And so we conclude our service on page 84 with the words of Kaddish Yatom. These words are the traditional way in which Jews mourn, but they don't speak of Mari, they don't speak of grief, of sadness, of loss, of darkness. They simply recognize God's presence, even and perhaps especially at a time of grief and of loss. So I'll invite the family to join with me in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 84. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, בחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו. לעילה מנכ"ל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, לאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us, to all of Israel and all of humanity. And we say, Amen. Please be seated. This concludes the minyan. In just a moment, I'll invite the family to precede us into the foyer, and then as we leave, we can walk out past them. And the tradition is that as we leave, or even in the house of the mourners if we visit them, the tradition is that what can we possibly say that could possibly console? Ultimately, there is nothing. And so Jewish tradition is, rather than saying anything, we sit with them in silence, unless they may wish to speak with us. Or we might do one of the Jewish traditions of wishing them long life. Well, she certainly had that. Or we might wish them, if simchas, may we meet in times of joy, rather than in times of sadness. Clearly, that's what she enjoyed the most. In Hebrew or in Yiddish, the old saying was, bis 120, may you live till 120, which was the age of Moses when he died. The new saying in Israel, in Yiddish or in Hebrew, is bis 120, it's one letter difference, and now it means may you live till 100 as if you were 20. I think she would have preferred that, don't you? Mind you, I don't suggest that you tell someone that when they're 99. It doesn't go that way. Having said that, as we leave, if you knew her well, share a memory, something which might begin with, I remember when. Those tend to be the most meaningful ways of sharing a moment of memory, a tribute, and of consolation. And so I'll invite the family to precede us into the foyer. If everyone else could remain seated for just a moment so that they can actually arrive there before us. So I wish you all long life, and truly that we should meet of simchas in times of joy rather than in times of sadness.